Hello and welcome everyone to Yoga Flow Short Forms. Let's go ahead and begin in a nice child's pose, taking 5 deep breaths, easing into it, taking time just to feel grounded. It's ideal if your head's on the ground. However, you can fold your arms under your head if you need. Hips press back. But if the knees are sore, the hips can be more lifted than normal. That's fine. Just take time to breathe. Full inhale, followed by a smooth exhale. We'll begin a warm up for the spine on the hands and knees. Tucking the tailbone and rolling the back. Lengthening the spine, so smooth. Repeat the flow. There's some pressure in the hands. And then push into the legs, downward dog. Hips high. Head down. And then round the back, lower the knees gradually, and then lengthen the spine. Let's continue that as a flow. Straight back, push up and back with the hips. Tuck your chin round the back, knees down gradually, and extend the spine. A couple more rounds. The full core action comes from rounding and tucking the chin. So the knees lowering gradually with that deeply rounded back really compresses the abdominal muscles and engages them into strength. You keep the back lengthened as you go back. You roll as you come down. It's a simple warm-up, but it's very strengthening, especially if you apply yourself. If you're not feeling anything in the abs, then maybe you're just phenomenally strong, or you may not be applying the technique. So you always are welcome to stop and watch if you really want to see how rounded I am until my knees come down. It's the knees coming down that triggers the lengthening, and you maintain that as you're back into dog. Very good. Sustaining dog now for 2 to 3 breaths. Hips high. It's perfectly fine to bend the knees if you need. And walk to the top of the mat. Take a half lift and then a fold. Straight back lift. Let's go ahead and rise on up. Arms come up. Hands to heart. Feet parallel. Chair pose with hands in prayer. Do a little bit of a chair, or if it feels good on the knees, deeper, and the hands can stay low, or they can be moderate, or get a deeper extension. That depends on how the neck and shoulders feel. If it feels good, go deep into the pose, breathe, and then come back to downward dog. Parallel feet, press into the hands. And then 3 times plank. Maybe move the feet back a bit so you're pretty long for plank. And then that means you might feel a little long for dog, which is perfectly fine when we're just moving in and out of it. Plank, don't push too far beyond the wrist. Right above them is good. Back to dog, and then 1 more plank. From dog stretch, kneel down and just go right into child. Remember, it's always fine to rest. Mainly you want to breathe. Deep, deep breath. Next, we'll practice the levitated cat, hands and knees. Lift the knees and engage the feet and hands and core. Very good. Knees down and lower all the way. Inhale, basic locust. Lift the chest and legs. Exhale, release. Inhale, cobra. Use the arms, but just a little bit. The elbows are bent. Exhale, lower. Inhale, locust. Arms are back. Chest open. Exhale, release. Inhale, cobra. Keep the elbows a little bent. Shoulders back and down. Exhale, lower. Either lift to neutral or bring the hands low, like to the low ribs. Inhale, up dog. Thighs lift, chest opens. Use the core, push back, downward dog. And then walk or hop up. Half lift and fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Standing pose, Samastitihi. Deep breath. One more time, chair pose. Plank pose. Firm legs, strong core. Put a little bend in the elbows now. Try elbow bent plank. Hug the arms in. This helps to build more strength. Maybe a little shakiness in the arms. Shakiness is good for clearing the nervous system. And then lower all the way. And inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Chin to chest, inhale. Roll the cobra. Exhale, lower. And then bring the hands low, inhale, up dog. Open chest. And use the core. Hips high. Kneel down and then turn to the side. Walk or hop the feet apart. Straddle position. And then a little bend in the knees. Let's come on up. Open the arms and open the right foot. Turn the back foot in, spread all the toes. Warrior two. Keep the knee open. Deep breath. The hips are leveling, the arms are leveling. The core is not tense, but it is supporting the spine. Very good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Turn the back foot in. Really open that left foot. Spread all the toes. Leveling the hip, warrior two. Steady breathing. That's what makes it the meditation in action. Making the alignment part of the flow. Keeping the muscles and joints in healthy position. Very good. Arms and legs relax. Centering, hinging down, and then swaying a couple times side to side. When you're done with both sides, put a little bend in the knees, come on up, and then slowly bring the feet in, open the toes, and then we'll do 3 pliés. Knees and toes face the same direction, and then sustain. Either hold the knees to help the groin open more and keep the knees supported, or bring the arms up if the knees can stay wide on their own. Very good, release from that. And now we'll switch to the top of the mat. So work your way slowly to the top of the mat. We're gonna do warrior 3 with airplane arms. So put all the weight onto the right foot and start by tipping a little bit.
And then if it feels good, you tip down, keeping the body and the leg moving in unison. And eventually you're parallel with the body and the lifted leg. And the hips are relatively square, the arms are like a jet plane. And step back to warrior one. A short step for relaxation, a long step for more challenge in both strength and flexibility. Squaring the hips, shoulders relaxed. Downward dog. And then walk or hop up. Half lift and then fold. Straight back lift. And come on up, arms up. Arms relax. Feet together. And putting weight into the left foot. Warrior three. Deep breath. Step back, warrior one. Remember, you can be short, but a longer stance will stretch and strengthen you more. So if that works for your joints and your breath, then that's good. Focus on going deep, both inside and outside. Downward dog. And knees down. Let's go ahead and sit down, bring the legs out from under. Open the legs slightly, roll the femur, and keep sitting tall. Other leg. All right, very good. Now we're going to have the right leg bent. We're going to do a seated twist. Now, if you know your knees are sensitive, just stay like this with the left leg lengthened. Otherwise, the right leg is bent and you can bring the left leg back into a half virasana, the heel tucked close to the glute. And because I have pretty well developed calves, I like to roll the fleshy part of that out. That helps the knee, so you might consider doing that. I roll the fleshy part of my glute out. And you can also sit on a blanket if you're really sideways with the hips. You want to level as best you can. Bring the arms up and twist to the right. We're going to hold here for a good 5 breaths. The time we spend in poses, especially stretches, is not just good for the tissues to release, but it's also good for grounding the mind and the emotions. Taking time to breathe and just to be. And let's come back to center. Switching the sides. Remember your options. You can have the right leg bent, up straight I should say, or you can bend it into a half virasana. Roll the calf, adjust the sitting bones, be as equal as you can in the hips, maybe sit on a blanket or a towel. Arms up and twist to the left. Deep twist, deep breath. One method for going really deep is to start really easily and use each exhale to go a little bit further. So a deep pose can be a deep stretch, working the muscles to a comfortable edge, but you can also consider the pose deep by working on the breath, working on having the proper expectations. If you're having a day where you're a little bit under the weather or maybe fighting off some injuries, the proper expectation is to be comfortable with doing less, but rather experiencing more inside. Very good. We're going to release from this pose. Slowly set up to lower onto the back. Knees to chest. And our closing pose will be reclined butterfly. Feet together, knees open. Arrange the arms however you like. If you have acute back pain, you could consider having the feet wide and the knees in, like a reverse butterfly. Otherwise, hang out here for a minute or two. And we'll take this as our final stretch, but also as our closing Shavasana. Shavasana can be an alternate pose, but ultimately is the experience of reclined meditation. Soften the breath and close the eyes. When you're ready, go ahead and take one last knees to chest. Either roll to the side or hold the back of the legs and roll up. We'll conclude in a comfortable seat. Sit tall and breathe deep. Let's do one round of clearing and one Om. Inhale. Hold it in for just a second and then let it all go. Very good. Breathe in for Om. Namaste.